Well, hi. So today I wanted to talk about some relatively straightforward and very attainable tips that you can start to incorporate into your life right away to stop the hormonal weight gain. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sherry and I am a holistic health coach working with midlife women because I believe that as we age, we should do so gracefully and powerfully. So there's a lot of different hormones that can be out of whack in our system, but I find that the women I work with, the most common hormones to be out of balance is cortisol, insulin, and estrogen. And all three of these hormones, when they're not in balance, can absolutely have an effect on weight gain. So what can you do to bring these hormones back into a balanced state and in the process start losing some weight? So the first thing that you want to do is just chill out a little bit. And the reason I say this is that when we're stressed, when we're running on that 24/7 sort of cycle of just always being reactive and not resting, our cortisol is firing nonstop. And so when we have cortisol in our system at that level for that sustained period of time, our body thinks that it's in some real danger. It is in that fight or flight mode. And so what the body wants to do in order to fuel the body in a very reactive situation is it starts to crave sweets and carbs, because those are two things that the body can quickly convert into energy. And what happens is, as we're craving these sweets and carbs, and our blood glucose level starts to increase, and then our insulin levels start to increase, we put ourselves at risk for insulin resistance. And definitely those two hormones together, cortisol and insulin, are the perfect recipe for creating weight gain, especially around the belly. The next thing you want to do to kind of like stop that hormonal weight gain is just to get more sleep. Now, it's actually been scientifically shown that if you get 5 hours or less of sleep, you have a significant chance of increased belly fat. The other thing that happens when we sleep is it gives our body a chance to regulate two very important hormones, both ghrelin and leptin. These are the hormones that create our hunger signal, but also signal our brain when it's full. So if these are out of balance, we're not really knowing when to push ourselves away from the table, and we just feel hungry a lot more than we normally would. Kind of tagging on to that sort of hunger feeling is eating less sugar. Now, sugar is probably, I would say, if there's one thing that you're really going to do to increase health and weight loss, it is to step away and eliminate the sugar. Now, sugar is a very highly inflammatory food. It really creates a lot of inflammation in the body. What it also does is it increases your blood sugar, and in response, your body starts pumping out more insulin. And insulin is known as the fat storing hormone. So once the cells have kind of had their fill of their food, which is glucose, and they're all like set for their energy, that insulin's going to take anything that's left over in the blood and store it as fat. And usually it likes to store that fat in the belly area. The other thing you can do is drink less. I know, unfortunately, it breaks my heart. I am very prone to what I call wine belly. I get a little pooch if I start drinking a little bit too much. And what alcohol tends to do is be very reactive with estrogen. It tends to increase our estrogen levels. And as we get older and we're postmenopausal, the estrogen that's really active in our body is estrone. And that's kind of considered the old lady estrogen. I don't like that term, but that's what it's commonly known as. And where does that live? That also lives in the belly. So drinking tends to kind of throw the estrogen out of whack, which in turn tends to also end up in our belly, hence the wine belly. And so then finally, it is really about what you're eating. So you're going to want to, again, shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Stay away from processed foods, stay away from sugary foods, and what you're really wanting to load your plate up with is a lot of healthy fats. So start thinking like olive oil, avocado oil, avocados, seeds, nuts, flax seeds, chia seeds. Those are all really, really good. Also, good, healthy proteins. So if you're going to go beef, make sure it's grass-fed and hopefully grass-finished. If you're going to do anything like poultry, make sure that it is pasture-raised with no antibiotics or hormones. And then for fish, go wild-caught, or if they are farmed, just make sure that they're more ethically farmed. And then, yeah, just eat just all the good veg, you know, and the cruciferous veg especially is super, super good for kind of balancing those hormones. So, you know, broccoli, kale, spinach, all of those good things. So those are my tips for you this week, and incorporate some of those, and if nothing else, just the sugar. The sugar will make a big difference. So I will talk to you next week. Peace and love. Bye.